Crawford, thank you. Location, location, location. It's all paramount, of course, and of importance and when deciding where to build. Our ABC News 4 building expert, Alan Wheeler, is here with some great tips. Of course, we call this segment Ask Alan Anything. And Mr. Wheeler, welcome back to the program. Great to see you as always.
Thanks, John.
So tell me, when planning to build a custom home, do you design the home first or do you pick out the lot first?
Well, I meet regularly quite a few people that say, I want to build a custom home. And so I'll ask them what they have in mind. Some will have blueprints, some will have pictures, and I can see they're really wrapped up in the dream of what a house would be.
Right.
And then I say, have you picked a lot, or do you own a lot?
It seems like a pretty important step.
Very important step. And if they have not picked a lot or have one already, I say, well, I would love to talk to you about designing or building a house, but you really need to get a lot first.
Yeah.
And they want to know why. So the lot always comes first because it's really harder to take a plan and design your dream home and then find a lot to match. It's much easier to find the lot. Now, for instance, one of the first choices is a cul-de-sac.
Sure.
And that's a pie-shaped, narrow driveway entrance. It's great for quiet, neighbors, it's out of the way. But if, for instance, you know you want to have a side load garage, you can't really, with a pie shape, get in a cul-de-sac area. So a lot of people find they can't choose a cul-de-sac lot. Then there's a corner lot, and there's pros and cons with that. It can be a little busier, but then quite a few people want a side load garage. So on the side street, they can have their garage over on that side,
yeah.
Drive straight in, great parking, a lot of benefits to that. Then some people want to have a curve. So they'll want to circle around, and they can have two curb cuts, so the driveway. So a lot of pros and cons with that.
So you can customize it, but it's important to know what you want ahead of time.
Yeah, they just kind of need to think about those things. And then most will, if they have bought a lot, know what the community restrictions are.
Sure.
And you know, buying in there, and they're usually smaller lots, usually water and sewer, all set with that. But one of the elements is fencing. And if they have kids and they want to fence, sometimes fencing is not allowed. The other is a lot of people think about swimming pools. So if they are thinking about it, then I try to talk to them about, okay, we've bought the lot, we've designed a house, and when we're designing the house, it needs to be, is there space for a pool? And then if you're in a rural area and you want to buy some acreage, then you have to consider there's no sewer, but there's a septic requirement.
Yes.
And 1 acre minimum, because you have to have an active septic field and you need a reserve field. We call it the 20-year field, in case the first one.
Right. Important stuff to know
Yeah.
right there. So,
Yeah.
Alan, what steps should we take when we're planning to buy that lot? I'm wondering if you, as a contractor, do you know these specific subdivisions and these different neighborhoods and these different townships and municipalities and kind of know the zoning requirements for them?
Well, there are just dozens of communities, and when I do a custom home or I do an addition, if I haven't been there, I'll have to learn and help the homeowner
Sure.
with all of that. But whether you're in that community or whether you're in rural, no one has ever asked me really, what about the sun? And the sun is really important when you're going to buy a lot, because when I bought a lot in past years for a spec house, I wanted the sun to be in the back side because the family room, the kitchen is in back, and maybe the master bedroom. So you get afternoon sun,
Right.
and it doesn't wake you up in the morning.
Smart right there.
So sometimes there's compensations, but be aware of that. Yeah.
So definitely some considerations affecting the home's position on that lot as well. So kind of where you want it to get that sun.
Right. Right. So in looking at a lot, many times I've had homeowners say, come and take a look at, I got 2 possibilities, and I'll give them some feedback on, you know, positioning with the sun. And then there's another area which is cost. So somebody will say, well, Alan, you know, yeah, the sun's in the back and it's wide enough for a side load garage. And they say, look at all the trees. It's so pretty here. And then I'm saying, well, we talked about your budget. You've told me what the lot costs, trying to put the whole thing together. but there's significant cost in clearing all the trees out.
Yeah. So make sure you know what you're buying before you get to the planting stage. Alan, thank you so much. We do appreciate it. If you have a question for Alan, you can just call that number right there or check out that website below, and we'll be happy to answer your question right here on Low Country Live every Tuesday. Alan Wheeler, thank you so much for your time, sir.
Thanks, John.
Great tips there. We do appreciate that. Much more Low Country Live after the break. Make sure you stick around.